Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2023. So let's talk about it. I feel one of the things people always forget when it comes time to announce Game of the Year at these various shows and conventions is that just because your favorite game didn't win an award or didn't win Game of the Year doesn't dismiss the memories and the moments that you had with your favorite game. That's the beautiful thing about the games industry, and especially in a year like 2023, in my opinion, that was so absolutely stacked with amazing games. Not every one of those games is going to appeal to absolutely everybody, and that's fine in my opinion. Having games that are designed for a target audience, but they may be able to extend beyond that, is good, because if you try to please everybody, you're gonna end up pleasing nobody. And I tend to find that rule holds more often than not. But in a year of absolutely stellar game releases, back to back to back, a game like Baldur's Gate 3 comes along, and it's a game that's one of those milestones for the industry, in my opinion, and I don't think that's an understatement. The game has hundreds and hundreds of hours for just a single playthrough, available to you at your own pace, if you want to engage and smell the roses, or if you want to speed through the main campaign, you are also able to do that, at least for the most part, to my understanding. It puts that player agency and choice in the player's hands, and you may rightfully say, Jmulls, but sometimes quantity is not quality. But that's the thing with Baldur's Gate 3. It does have that quantity, but in equal measures also quality. And for a game so monolithic in scope, it's only $60. And there's no microtransactions, there's no season pass, there's none of that modern gaming BS that have infested so many other games. But when you pair a game of this size and scope with not going up to $70, having none of these microtransaction ways to siphon money from their player base, it's just a stellar game jam-packed with great content, packaged together in a game that just feels like it was designed to be an amazing experience first and foremost. And in a year like 2023 with all these amazing games, the fact we can also have a game like Baldur's Gate 3 that, in my opinion, is still a step above everything else, speaks not only to the quality of games that came out this year, but to the quality of Baldur's Gate 3 in of itself. It makes use of the fact that it's a video game to further and to uniquely tell its story. So many games treat the video game medium as nothing more than something to play around telling this story. You have to have a gameplay section, and then you can be rewarded with a little bit of story. Where the gameplay and the overall narrative feel so disconnected that you wonder why it's even a video game to begin with. That is not the case with Baldur's Gate 3, because your choices, your decision making, those matter, those are impactful. That's the gameplay. Sure, you have combat, but at every moment in time, for every quest, it seems like, you have the ability to augment the world and your own experience through your own choices and how you tackle each situation. They not only affect you in the immediate now, but also have rippling effects for later on, including, but not limited to, how your own party members feel about your playable character. It has that openness and uniqueness inherent to D&D style games, but seemingly without the limitations of a game that has to be designed to make each route feel satisfying. All of your choices that you make in every little moment in this game feel like they matter and that they are impactful, and that you are constantly progressing your own little story in Baldur's Gate 3. They matter, they have consequences. The game doesn't hold your hand. The game will equally reward you as it punishes you for the decisions and the consequences of those decisions and actions that you undertake in the game. And in an industry that on the whole feels, at least, like it has migrated away from player choice really affecting the outcome of narratives, Baldur's Gate 3 comes along and says pretty much, hey, these story-rich experiences, filled to the brim with player choice and meaningful choice at that, they can still exist in the modern games industry. They can still do well, and then can be packaged in a game that feels tailor-made for your preferences and your playstyle. And if you want to play a bunch of characters, the game gives you the agency to do so, if you so choose to. Because all those decisions, they affect the course of your outcome. I could have skipped out on pretty much every party member that I have access to right now. They're in my party because I chose for them to be in my party. The game is not afraid for punishing the player or for letting the consequences play out for the player. It's a game designed first and foremost to provide an adventure and to give you, the player, tools and options to utilize to augment that experience to your preferences and to your playstyle. The game rewards you for taking a step back and thinking about the situation. The game rewards you for utilizing the tools in your repertoire to try and tackle each unique situation. You pair all of that with an incredible OST, amazing characters. So far, I'm not even out of Act 1, and I'm like 19 hours into this game, and I already have a second character because I just wanted to see what other options there are. And yeah, one of the different routes, instead of taking a guy on as a party member, you can saw off the dude's hand through a portal as he's desperately holding on and reaching out for dear life. Yeah, you can choose to just saw that dude's hand off. At no point do you feel limited because it's a game. You feel enhanced and incentivized because it's a game. There's a reason Baldur's Gate has gotten the reputation that it now rightfully has. And you pair all of that up with the free updates the game has been getting, including an entire new epilogue that came out not too long ago, in a free update, alongside dong physics, which I just kind of find funny. This scope and level of player agency is something to be celebrated, in my opinion. Video games have a unique quality to them that other media just simply don't have access to. That level of interactivity, that interactiveness of being a video game is unique to the video game medium, and when it's utilized properly to further the story of a game, that's when I think we get some of the best video game narratives. When a game properly makes use of the fact that it's a video game to further and enhance its story, not to feel like a crutch or as an excuse or something to deal with, but when it utilizes the fact that it's a video game and the tools at its disposal as a video game to enhance and tell a story that can only take place as a video game. Those moments are when I think we get the best stories and games overall, in my opinion. And Baldur's Gate 3, with the level of player agency and choice available to you at any moment in time that augments the game, the story, and shapes it to be your own, that's important in my opinion. Not every game needs to do it, but when a game is able to do it this well, with this sense of scope, that's special in my opinion. I think modern gaming has fallen off in regards to multiplayer games, but when it comes to single-player games, it's stronger than ever in my opinion, and Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the exemplars of that idea. We had Elden Ring last year, and we have Baldur's Gate 3 this year, alongside a host of amazing games. And while I think it is easy to get caught up in the sports team-esque debates that we can get caught up into, in regards to my favorite game is better than your favorite game and whatnot, I think it's also important to be able to take a step back and appreciate all these amazing experiences that have come out just within the last year. And personally, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is the best example of that. I think it is deserving of Game of the Year. But it's not the only game that came out this year that is of high quality. Games are cool. They're fun, mesmerizing, and captivating. And while I personally can't wait to sink possibly hundreds more hours into Baldur's Gate 3, what I want you to do, yes, you watching this video right now, what I want you to do is leave a comment down below with your favorite game of this year. Was it Baldur's Gate 3? Was it Spider-Man? Was it Final Fantasy 16? I love that game myself. Was it Armored Core 6? Myself as well. Love that game. Was it Tears of the Kingdom? Was it Pikmin 4? Was it Alan Wake 2? Resident Evil 4 Remake? Let me know what your favorite game this year was, and let me know what your favorite memory with that game was. I would love to hear your thoughts, and hear your opinions, and hear your perspectives, and hear your stories. And while you're down there, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody, until we meet again!